Welcome back to the Lagniappe. I'm your host, Caroline Badon, and today I am here with Tyler Fussell, my mom, and the owner and founder of the Fussell Group. Yeah. And we have our friend Anna here. Anna is the owner of Cured on Columbia.
Happy to be here.
You're like a celebrity in this town.
I know.
So
if you haven't been to Cured, you have to go to Cured on Columbia. I was just saying they have the best tuna fish sandwiches. They have the most amazing coffee. It's just the perfect little quintessential coffee shop restaurant. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So today we're talking a little bit more about not just coffee, even though that's my favorite topic, especially a cured latte.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, being a female, owning a business, running a business in a small town, and just the beauty of building something that people flourish in.
Yeah.
And build like the community that Cured has created,
Yeah.
Let's just start like from the very beginning. What inspired you to open Cured on Columbia?
Okay. So Cured is pretty authentic, like original, I guess is what I can say. I mean, Amanda and I, my partner, we always just talked about always creating our own. The vision was always one day maybe we'll have our own place. And it was just, we enjoyed, eating out and dining and all the aspects of like the service.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the service industry, all my life. She was in it most partially, but she was like 4 degrees and into the chef side. Into the medical side. And then she always had a passion for like cooking. And so we shared that for sure. But I just, it created over time just talking about it. And when the opportunity came, when we got here, and I mean, my past is my past and we don't have to really bring that up. But I was in, working in the industry and mentoring and, managing and working my way up all my life through the industry. So Cured kind of formed just one, we lucked up with the spot. I mean, being downtown Covington the time that we did, I mean, it was COVID, so it was a little scary. It was like, are we really going to do this in the middle of, the end or kind of the end of COVID? But we thought, if we could do it then, we could do it anytime. So it was really formed just because we wanted to create a space that everyone was welcome. And that we felt like, we could be our authentic selves and create that for our community. And we always dreamed of that. Now, our visions were always so different.
Really?
It wasn't what this is.
So really not, was it coffee?
No.
What was it?
Coffee was created like days before we opened.
Shut up.
I swear. And it's so wild because everybody's like, what do you mean? I mean, but the community kind of supported that and it kind of grew into organically what it is. But we had visions of like more of a fine dining restaurant all of our time or something, on the nicer scale of that and full service and all these things. Or, we talked about, a cheese charcuterie place where we had all the meats that we were curing ourselves and we had all these other visions. But when we got in the space and we got our heads just kind of started turning every day, it was like we were just driving it and forming this unique spot. And then I think closer to the end, we were like, let's put coffee in.
Yeah. Thank God.
Nothing about it. I mean, we enjoyed coffee, but it wasn't like, we had no education behind it. I was in wine. Amanda was food. I was in operations, but it was nothing.
It's so crazy. And that's what you're known for.
Right. So that really took off.
Isn't it crazy how you start with one vision,
Mm-hmm.
right? And as you start building out your business and as it starts growing, your original vision completely changes.
Completely changes.
My original vision here was, I'm just going to I'm going to work a little bit and I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to go have coffee dates and all this stuff. And God looked at me and said, hold on, girl, that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, I think when you, release and let go
Mm-hmm.
and kind of let God guide you on what his vision is for you.
Yeah.
Amazing things happen.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I know.
things happen.
And we had gotten this spot and it was just going to be Amanda's. We were going to turnkey it, not do anything to the space and just let it be a deli. And when I got let go with the place I was working at prior, it like blew smoke under us. And it was like, we're going to do more.
So I know we don't want to dive into your past just because I've heard the story. It's a really long story, but it is what fueled the fire behind this amazing business that you own now. So tell us a little bit about how the downfalls of that really inspired you to create something now that everyone in the community flourishes off of.
I look back now and I think a lot about that. I'm like, doors close in your life and others open. And it's so wild if you just let go and let that happen, what can like flourish.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to some conference or something, and it was like in the valley, talking about being in the valley and how magical, when you're in the valley or things, you kind of feel like you're hitting bottom or something gets pulled out from underneath you and you don't know what to do. You're kind of freaking out. Those moments is really when you start to shine.
Right.
100%.
It's really when you start digging deep in it's like survival, but not really. It's more like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
Let go of the reins. Let me do this thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened to me. I mean, we were already in the process of creating Cured in a whole different aspect, a whole different way. No alcohol, probably, I don't know what else. There were several things we didn't have involved at that time. And when I was let go of the job I was at for 17 years, and I was like, oh, we're all in.
Mm-hmm.
We're all in. Give me all the paperwork. And Amanda was like, she's chefing. She's like, I don't even know what to do with all this paperwork. I'm like, where are you at with license? Like, how do we get this rolling?
Right.
And so I kind of just took off all that from her and was like, all right, let's do this. And it just fueled me. It was like a whole different ball game. But I think about that, because I think about I could have put my energy in other ways of being upset,
Mm-hmm.
or like I could have put my energy to fight back in that area of my life where they were letting me go and the terms and all the things. And I remember looking at her and say, I'm going to put my energy right here. This is where it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing the things that we want to do, doing good things, focusing on the positive and what we have in front of us and the opportunity that's here. Because at the end of the day, it's like, that's how you get there.
Yeah. I love that you said, we're talking about valleys, because I think if we're all honest, we all have valleys, right? All businesses have valleys.
Mm-hmm.
You have your peaks and you have your valleys. And you nailed it. That is where we grow. That is where he grows us, is when we're in those valleys. And that is where we're able to build on, become stronger, have a better vision. If you are willing to live in the moment, embrace the valley, embrace it, like you said, realize that there's work going on there, and that embrace it and let go, and then let him lead you where you're supposed to be. And it's amazing. Now, look, not to say valleys don't hurt.
Of course.
Valleys hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Valleys sting. Valleys are tough. But it's also where we're growing, and it's where we're flourishing. We're beginning to flourish. We're getting some wings under us, and then you're
kind of feel exposed.
Yes,
it's like everything's stripped down. You're not held down by anything.
Yes,
you're wide open. You're really exposed.
Yeah,
it's like you're starting to build that back.
Yes,
and it's empowering. I mean, as you start to do that, it's like, wow, being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
There is
really doing those things for yourself.
There is a song, and it was actually on this morning, and I wish for the life of me I could remember the girl's name, but it's called Flowers. And it's a Christian song, and it talks about how when you're in the valleys that, God's standing there with a watering can, and he's watering you, that you're a seed, and he's watering you because even flowers grow in valleys, and he's growing you. He's raising. Yeah. And I'm thankful for valleys.
Yeah. I think so too. I mean, I'm very grateful now when I look back for what had happened and what I went through in order for us to build what we have now, because it really formed something really cool for this community and for us, and like empowered us to like.
And not only did it form like a really freaking cool coffee shop / restaurant / hangout, but it also opened doors for the relationships that you built. Like I would have never known you.
I know.
And it's just, you become so thankful for the moments that you think that or that may be the hardest, but that you think you can't get through. And then you look back and you're like, wow, because that happened, I have this now.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite parts about life, is just looking back on things that you didn't think you were going to get through, and then looking at how much better your life is now.
Yeah.
And I do believe like there comes a point where you get kind of locked in this mundaneness of like doing the same thing and feeling like powerless because you may be in a job for so long. And it's like, I can't make a change. There's no change.
Right. Stuck.
Man, that change can be amazing,
Yeah.
When
so
needed.
Owning a business as a woman in itself is a good change. So let's talk about that. What's different about it? What makes it beautiful? How do you lead the chaos? You worked in a man's world. You've worked in a man's world. I've worked in a man's world in sports. We all get it. Not saying that there's anything against it, but just talk about being a female entrepreneur, both of you.
So I think what's great about being a female business owner is we give a little bit of a different spin to it. Not to knock our men, because there's definitely, there's some amazing men business owners out there. There's amazing men out there. But I think females give it a different spin. We give it more of that motherly, more of that softer approach. And that's sometimes needed in different industries. I know with what we do in our industry, women are far more successful than men because women come across more understanding, more compassionate, more relationship building. Whereas a lot of times men have a focus that, it's a natural instinct of a man. I have to find food, I have to kill, I have to find food and protect for my family and blah, blah. It's what they do. It's how they're wired. Whereas we're wired more of that motherly, compassionate, let me take care of you aspect. And I think that plays a great part in successful women leaders, successful women entrepreneurs, because we come across a little bit differently. We handle things a little bit differently.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, for sure.
We're emotional.
Yeah. And I think, throughout my time of, managing people and different age groups and different, personalities and all the things, it's like you grow and you start to see the difference. You can't speak to someone this way.
Right.
You got to speak to this one this way, and you start learning the different personalities and mentoring that. And it's pretty cool, especially for women. I do think that probably comes a little more natural, that caring mentorship. Let me come here. Let me build you up. I want to, bring people under my wing and watch them flourish and do things. And I'm not saying some men don't, but I do, like you said, they're on a mission to be the most powerful sometimes, or to make the most money. And some of those decisions, I remember sitting at tables with all the men and I was the only woman at the table. And the things they would say, I'm like, you can't say that.
Right.
Or no, you can't look at it that way.
Right.
Have you looked at it this way? And having a woman's perspective and a man's perspective in a business, I think is important. But it is crazy to see the difference of what a woman can bring to the table and what they're seeing. And perspectives are really healthy.
Yes.
And being able to see all angles of a business in order, to come to the table and, bring something forward. But when you're all in the same mind, it's a little hard.
I think diversity in the workplace, or diversity in leadership is very much needed. I think, like you said, when you stick with all men at a table or all women at a table can get to be very emotional and very, let's face it, we can be very catty. Whereas men can come across and be very almost too businesslike. They're not looking at the emotional side of it. They're not looking at the softer approach. They're coming in headstrong. So I think when you bring very powerful men and women together, and I don't mean powerful as in these, godly powerful or leadership, but just powerful in the sense that they're willing to listen to one another, I think they can create amazing synergy. And
I've learned a lot just in our little networking group that we have. And it's right now it's all women. I mean, we've talked about having other men, but to have different personalities, at a table, different businesses, and just kind of all come together and feel like a unit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we get talking and it's like, I could talk all day.
I get a lot out of that meeting.
I really do.
It's great.
And I think it's really cool.
And it's building those relationships too. I've realized probably within the past year that building relationships with the people around you is what's important.
Yes.
100%.
That's really how your business flourishes.
Yeah.
From building those relationships.
I was going to say, when we first started, it was mainly women that led the charge. Well, now we're actually a little bit more men heavy.
Yeah.
And on our leadership team. And I find that we have a perfect balance now with the two.
Right.
So yeah, I think women business owners bring a lot to the table. I think women entrepreneurs bring a lot to the table. And I would love to see more women be willing to spread their wings
Yeah.
and
sure.
take a step out there, whether they're a solopreneur or an entrepreneur. I'd like more women to be more confident in who they are and what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
So let's talk more about building a business in a small town, like the beauty behind it. This isn't you're not in New York City. You're not opening a coffee shop that people fly in, grab coffee, and run out for work. Like, let's talk about the beauty and the challenges of launching Cured in downtown Covington.
Okay. The beauty is when we came in at the time, I do believe was kind of perfect in terms of I think a lot of families my age and people our age are moving here to raise their families. A little more diversity is coming this way, a little more openness or progressiveness, And I will say, we were hesitant at first of we were living in Mandeville, so we didn't, Mandeville and Covington, obviously it's so close, but still separate.
So different. Yeah,
totally different.
So we were living in Mandeville only because that's just where we found a house that we loved. I was, the store I was working at, my other business was in Covington, but wasn't in downtown. So it's we didn't have any relationships down here. We really didn't know anybody. We've dined a couple times at Del Porto and a couple of places, but that was it. So we had no idea, we weren't sure of how welcoming it would be. Being a couple, being a gay couple, two women, opening this business.
Right.
But I think the cool part is we weren't out there yet. So it was people got to see us for who we really are and not labeling us or putting something on us that wasn't who we are.
Right.
Yes, we love each other and we're together, but that's not who we are.
Right.
We're really good people. We want to make a difference in where we're at and we care about people, and we're authentic in that. And so it was being able to for people to see that initially, I think was the beauty of this small town. And setting that tone in here in the time that we did. And I remember, we started making relationships with people and meeting wonderful people and their kids. And they would sit down and be I want my kids to be around y'all more. I want my family to be around y'all more.
Be comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, we love coming to Cure. They talk about y'all. And it's this is so good for them to see you guys as just wonderful people and who you are. So I think the beauty was honestly, just the tight-knit relationships.
Yeah.
And just for that to be so naturally, for it to so naturally form here and it be easy was surprising for me. But it was also beautiful and eye-opening and wow. The challenges, of course, is it's small and it's the community, it's who knows who and it's what part do you fight for your business or what part do you sit back? And I think that's kind of where we're at. We're going on 5 years and there's some things in the city. It's do we talk about this or do we go talk to someone or do we just let it be? And it's I think that becomes a little bit of a challenge. There's not, what do we fight for? Where do we,
no,
that
I
kind of thing. Because it is a small town and it's great and everything's moving the way it's moving. But at what point do we stand up for certain things and the movement and the change and things like that?
But I think that comes with business in general.
Yeah.
Is when do you fight for something and when do you sit back and go,
yeah,
I'm going to see how this plays out.
Yeah. And it is small town. So you got to think about, what do you fight for and how does that affect your business?
Yeah. Because
it could be one thing and that could truly affect your business.
Yeah.
Some big cities and maybe overlooked. But
right.
In a small town, it's very magnified in everything you do.
But, I agree with you on small town, but I also think in industry wide sometimes, especially as a female, if you stand up in an industry or a small town and you speak for something that you feel is right that may not be what the going population wants to do, you then label.
Right.
And
right.
I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah, I don't want to look like and maybe that's being a woman.
Yeah.
It's you don't want to look like just a little, I'm whining or I'm complaining about something. Or there she goes, there she goes, or she's mad about this is aggravating her too. And it says you kind of got to be a little strategic and what you really fight for and bring.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Because it can hurt your brand.
Well, you 100%. I will say when I first started 13 years ago, I was more confrontational and more willing to fight for something, whereas now 13 years later, that's one of the things I think I would have changed is I wouldn't have been so confrontational. I would have sat back more and let things play out. However, that confrontation, it sometimes needed to happen because I needed to show that just because I was a woman, that you couldn't walk on me.
Right.
But, so we walk that very fine line, right? Because sometimes you do have both men and women that are going to push you because of who you are. They want to see how far they can go. And it's, where do you draw that line? I get it.
Yeah.
So tell me, what has surprised you the most about being a business owner? How long have you been in business? It's 5 years now?
5 years of Cured. I was operating partner, so I was in the bit, kind of running a lot of employees, but I wasn't. I was at tables and, meetings and, making decisions and all the things, but it wasn't like my business.
Yeah. So what has surprised you the most?
What has surprised me the most? I would have to say the change in managing the different age groups, like managing people.
Yeah. We talked about that last time at our meeting.
A little much, I think I was used to always managing most people I had. It was like, for the most part, they wanted to work a lot and they wanted to drive, or they felt like they had to. And that was like more of just, society, I guess, at that time.
Can we talk about that?
That's a change.
Yes, it has.
Things have changed.
It has.
But I think I don't want to get caught up in, I keep telling myself this, I forget sometimes why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it is for mentorship. I love that part of my job. I loved, watching, training people, or bringing in kids and like really growing them and telling them you can work harder. Maybe you can be a business owner, and really coaching people. And I lose that sometimes in the everyday just hustle, or we got to fix this, or this is broke, or how do we do this?
I will say, coming from someone that's 26, so I'm younger than both of you, but I've always looked up to you, obviously, as my mom and a business owner. But since knowing you have inspired me. Just watching you from afar has been a mentorship in itself. So the fact that you take pride in that and you enjoy that, it works,
like, appreciate that.
Just as someone that's younger and like wants to be successful and has, you always look up to your mom and everything that your mom does, but seeing that someone else can do it too. Cause sometimes you're like, my mom's superwoman, like she can do everything. And then you see someone else do it and you're like, wow, okay, wait, like it is actually possible.
And we all are that. You're that for other people too. And it's remembering that, reminding yourself of that. Like, someone's watching, someone's looking,
you're making a change.
Or somebody's wanting what you have. Someone wants to be you, or somebody wants to learn something from you, or somebody is looking up to something.
It's a pivot off of that, especially in a small town. You really get like a lot of, not to be negative, but you get a lot of hate and a lot of people that it's always the ones that are not successful, or the ones that are not happy in their lives, that are negative and are hateful towards you. But you have to remind yourself that there is someone that's watching you saying, like, I can do that.
Yeah. And
she can do it, I can do it.
The surprising part too is like, you almost got to start filtering too.
Yeah.
And we learned that a lot. In the beginning years of Cured, it was, people flocked to us and we thought, oh, they're just nice and we're friends and all the friends. But then we realized, man, they're just here to drain our battery.
Yeah.
They're just here to get. We're not getting anything. And it's like, there came a point we had to pivot, and it was like, hold up, what are we doing? This is not how this is going to go. We have to start really evaluating people in our lives and putting ourselves around people that we felt good and that were recharging us and that we're all growing together.
I had a friend of mine tell me one time, and he was right. As you grow your business and as you become more successful, you become more lonely because you start realizing the people that are attaching themselves to you to drain your battery, or to get what they can from you, or to ride on your coattails.
Yeah.
And that is the hard part.
Yeah.
I was thinking this morning when I was walking, it's my prayer time, and I was having my conversations this morning with God, and the one thing that came to me that is I think 100% true is, you can't be a leader and not get on your knees.
Yeah.
Because you have to be able to, as a leader, as you are, as your partner is, as Caroline's becoming one, is those around me that are becoming one. You know, being a leader is hard. There is a verse that John Maxwell says in one of his books. It's called The 21 Essential Steps to Leadership. And he basically, and I'm paraphrasing, but he basically says, you die as a leader, meaning in the sense that everybody else comes before you.
Mm-hmm.
You no longer come first. Your store comes first. Your employees come first. You're sitting up at 3:00 in the morning, wondering how you're going to make payroll that day, or you have Susie at the.
Yeah, it's a lone little boat sometimes.
It is.
Yeah,
it's a very lonely boat, and you know it. But there's also the wins that come with it, and the wins are when you get to mentor people, and when you see change in people, or a difference because of something that you've done, or somebody like Caroline looks at you and says,
right,
you gave me the strength to do this by me following you, you know? So yeah,
and I think about like a lot is, you know, I was always so used to having a team or having somebody I could call to kind of motivate me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that.
You're the motivator.
You're the motivator. I was talking to Anna about that. I said, you know, I think the hardest part sometimes is who is our cheerleader or who's our coach, you know, and it is about finding groups or people around that inspire you, but to kind of cheer you back up, to kind of motivate you.
So that leads me really into my next question for you was, we thrive off of our little monthly coffee date with our female entrepreneurs. You just feel powerful when you leave there. They get it. You're connecting with people that are in the same valleys that you're in and have experienced some of the same things, and you get fresh ideas and perspectives and things like that. But what does it mean to be surrounded by people, surrounded by women who actually get it?
it's empowering.
Yeah.
Huge. I think it's number one.
I agree. And
I think you will not succeed in any business. You will drown in it.
Yes.
If you don't put people around you to help motivate you
100%.
and to help continue your inspiration to grow, or because it will suck the life out of you, and all of a sudden you're gonna sit there on a.
And I will say that
we'll drown in it.
Something about our small community here. Shelby and I've talked about this so many times. Like, we're all so like close knit. Like, all the female entrepreneurs around here are just like this, and I feel like I really believe that's why we're all so successful and so just positive and empowering and strong and want to be somebody for somebody, you know?
Right.
Because we have each other.
Yeah.
It's huge.
You know, it's funny. My hairdresser is right around the corner from me, my hairstylist. And Mindy and I are about 5 years apart. And so we kind of go through a lot of same life changes or whatever. And it is so funny. We were laughing this morning. Our life and our business is so parallel with what we're going through. I started to say something this morning about something that happened, and she looked at me and she went, what is it that we are going through the exact same thing at the exact, but it's so good to be able to have somebody that's walking that walk that you can look at them and go, this fucking sucks. You know, just flat out. And they can say the same thing. Excuse me, beep. But it does.
Yeah.
It does sometimes.
I mean, and there's big challenges. I mean, probably you two as well as being like family, but even for Amanda and I.
Yeah.
Now our whole lives changed. We're working together. We're living together. We're
a lot.
Mentoring. I mean, we're trying to figure out what are our swim lanes.
They went.
But when you come home and you want to talk about the day, I know about your day. Don't talk to me about. So it comes.
What do you talk about?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's hard, mother and daughter. Sometimes like she'll come over and on a Sunday and start talking about work. And I'm like, I know this is our natural thing. Like, this is our number one topic of conversation, but like, let's go back to being mom and daughter sometimes, you know? And
we have to like
how y'all feel.
100%.
You know, my husband,
hard.
Yes.
My husband works with us too. And it's really weird when we get home in the evenings, we don't talk.
Yeah.
And I think it's because
as in a moment.
Yes, we both have to and we try not to talk about work. And like I said, my childhood best friend is my director of contracting, and we do double dates on Thursday nights. And I try very hard not to talk about work, but it inevitably gets its
yeah.
way into the conversation. And we get in the car and Brian's like, I told you we're not going to do it this time. And I'm like, it just happens.
It's hard. I mean, and for us too, especially because that's our passion.
Yes.
I mean, our passion is, I mean, if she's at home cooking, that's her escape. But then it brings up work because now we're cooking and we're talking about food or we're talking about,
hey, you want to do this at the restaurant?
We're eating out all these cool places, and the whole time we're talking about them.
Right.
And that's why we're always like, man, we should do consulting.
I will say, every time I go on a trip, I cannot find a freaking latte like the one I cured. And I'm like, it's just,
that's crazy because I can't either.
That is the only bad thing about being addicted is that you go somewhere else and you're not satisfied ever.
Yeah.
Never.
I know. I'm always
like, I can't do Starbucks.
We'll
I can't do
coffee
PJs.
Everywhere we go travel, and we're like, we really do a really good coffee.
You really
do.
It's like,
You really do.
it's so hard to beat.
Yeah.
All right. So let's dig a little bit deeper here. We're going to have to close up soon because I know you have to be somewhere, but let's talk about what is your why? Like, why did you, I know that, the previous job ended and then you pivoted into helping Amanda, but like, what is deep down, like, what is your why for what you do?
I think my deep down why is exactly the compliment you just gave me a minute ago.
Yeah.
Is to be able to be an example for people, and especially for my lifestyle and who I am in a small community. I think that is my why, is to like stand up and, know that you can do it, and people can love you, and you can make a change and a difference in the world. And I think it is about every day getting up. And I work for my employees. It's like I'm now working for my employees. I'm working for, even though it's my business, it's like I'm still working for all of them, and showing up for the community and making that difference. I mean, my why is that, like, wanting to form places or, have a safe space for people. And I love that our girls walk in and they have their tattoos showing, or, they're just being themselves.
Yeah. Or they wear what they want to wear, and there's no uniform.
Yeah.
Everyone just shows their authentic self. And when you walk in there, like, everyone feels accepted.
Yeah. And I think the hugest compliment I have to say when I sit back and I look at the space and I'm watching everything happen is that it's every walk of life. It's from the young. It's from the very professional business deals happening in the building to, people that work in the city, to the older people, to every
moms with babies,
every walk of life. And I love that because
they're all accepted.
The fact that we created a space that is so integrated with anyone is welcome. And because of who we are, that is a huge compliment.
And because the coffee and the food is so dang good.
Yeah. And I do believe, like, if you have a great product and you are passionate about that and you care what you serve people, there's such a magic in the service industry. And I think once you get to a point in your life, if you know that magic and you see it, it's amazing. The wins are there, because I think about, I will chase people out that building, even though we're closed, and I'm like, I'll make you whatever. We had a couple that had traveled from somewhere. They were staying at the Southern, and it was kind of shortly after the beginning that we opened. And I remember them walking up to the door and pull the door. And it was kind of like, we were trying to figure out our hours, but we were closed. I was the only one in the building. And they were like, I'm sorry, we heard about your place and we wanted to come in and just have a cheese board and wine. And I said, what did y'all want? Y'all want a cheese board? Come in here. And I turned the music on and I made them a cheese board, poured them a glass of wine, and they sat in the corner. And I went and sat somewhere else and let them have their date while we were basically.
Oh,
and they said every time they come in town, they were like, we come here. And they're like, do you remember us? And I'm like, of course I do. And I think about, I have like a dad coming in with their kid, and it's like, we're about to close, but I try to tell my staff, it doesn't matter. Like, we're community. Take care of these people. Could that be the last meal? Do you know if they are they?
Do you know if the dad and the son are coming in to get a coffee for the mom because she's had a horrible day? Like, you never know what it is.
Yeah. But those are memories and moments. And when we host events and it is a bridal thing or it's a speech that's given, I'm like tearing up crying because I'm looking at Amanda going, this is a space we created that will be a memory for people for life. Yeah, for life. Like, that's the cool part about it. That makes up for all the crap
that you dealt with. Yeah.
And the shit you deal with. You have to kind of pull yourself out of that and think about that,
My prayer at the end of my prayer every morning is always, I say, God, use me to be a light that people can see you inside of me. And that's what he does with you. And that's amazing.
He does.
Amazing.
I remember when I first met you, and then I just came to my mom, and I'm like, Mom, you have to meet.
I remember
Anna said
that. You're like, my mom and you need to.
Oh my God. I was like, she's just a gift.
But I also say, I ask him for that. And then I also say, let my business, my agents be a light that reflects you.
Yeah.
And that's what Cured does.
Thank you.
And I think it's beautiful. So congratulations. You're doing a phenomenal
I
job.
appreciate that.
It is.
I do want to hear that, thank you. And I love knowing y'all.
Yeah.
And being right here, and this one's in here in Cured of us every day for that glove sandwich.
I told her the other day, I was like, okay, I'm starting to get in trouble.
I was said that. Are you working for Cured or are you working for Fussell Group?
Do we have to do some trade or something? What's going on?
Yeah. She's like, trouble? You're never in trouble.
No. So are we getting ready? So I would like to ask a question. Okay. What is your favorite book?
Oh, man. I don't read a lot of books, unfortunately.
Audio. Do you do audio?
I will say we went on this trip, and me and Amanda, and we never slow down enough and just stop and read. And we were on this journey to go save these domes that were really popular. And the freeze happened, and we were an hour out, and they were like, we can't accommodate you. So we ended up in Chattanooga, and we were like, we're packed to be camping. We're not trying to stay at hotels and do all the things.
Right.
So we looked up a little spot, and we found another camping kind of area, and we sat, and she cooked the whole time, and I sat and I read a book.
Oh,
and I'm like,
what a dream.
It was the best trip of our lives, I feel like, and it was so simple.
You needed it.
Besides the time we went to Europe the one time, but other than that, it was so magical, sitting there and reading. I'm like, God, we've really been focusing, trying to talk more about books and reading more books. But that book for me was Finding Freedom, and it's Erin from Maine, Finding Freedom, Maine. And I don't know if y'all have The Lost Kitchen. Have y'all ever watched The Lost Kitchen? You need to. It's a really cool story, but it is about a woman, powerful, grew up in a small town, got pregnant young, worked for her dad, and she ended up buying the mill there, the dairy mill. And she opened this beautiful space. But it became so popular because you have to send in a postcard every year, and they pick and draw who's going to come to dinner.
Oh, wow.
From all around the world.
Wow.
And it gives me chill bumps because I love everything about it. Just her beauty and everything she does. It's all women, they're working. All the women, it's open kitchen. They're all doing their thing. And it's a really beautiful story. And through COVID, they ended up building all these A-frame cabins, and now you can stay. And it's just a really cool story.
Yeah,
I know that, but I know that's not this big powerhouse book, but it's a really great book and a cool story of just a small town girl that has made a name for herself. And
I love it.
She's on, she has her own show on The Lost Kitchen. But I think that's something. And then Dale Carnegie taught me a lot. I did Dale Carnegie training through the business I was at before. And through that whole program taught me a lot. And the books, I read through that. And a lot of that was just building relationships and how to manage people and to really manage different personalities and learning that.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is we don't stop and reflect, or we react off of emotions. And I learned so much through that journey of really managing people.
Okay, last question from me. What's your favorite ice cream?
Oh,
it's my very favorite dessert.
So basic.
Don't say vanilla.
Mint chocolate chip.
Yes, I love the chocolate chip.
Do love a mint chocolate chip.
The butter pecan from Hoodoo.
Butter pecan is really good too.
I don't even like ice cream, but the butter pecan from Hoodoo has me in a chokehold. It is so good.
I love ice cream.
All right, so let's wrap it up. I know you got somewhere to be, but what is your favorite coffee that you guys are serving right now?
Oh man, okay.
Favorite one you've ever curated, and then your favorite one for right now, the ones in season.
My favorite from prior that we've always just our classic. This was when we opened Cured, and honestly, didn't see it anywhere. Was just our classic honey lavender.
Oh, so
I mean, you can't get away from it. That's my go-to classic.
Yeah.
The brown butter cardamom right now is a really good one that we have going on, and a lot of people are loving that too.
Yeah.
We'll get that. Maybe have to go hop down there in a few minutes and get one.
Yeah, I need a coffee.
Neither one of us had our caffeine this morning.
I know I was hurried up and making one at home alone.
So I know.
Well, Anna, thank you so much for joining us. This was a pleasure. I loved it.
So much.
You're just,
Absolutely.
she's right. God shines through you. God shines through Amanda.
Yeah.
And what you guys have brought to this community, not even just for me, but the community in itself is beautiful.
Thank you.
And I
appreciate that.
I hope it never leaves.
I love hearing that. And, it's a blessing to hear that right now as we get to this journey of 5 years and we're on this quest of what's more for us, and I think a lot of it is slow thinking about what that means, because it's not always about more and more and more. I think you start to lose some of the beauty in that when you just drive for the more and more.
Sometimes less is more.
Yeah. And I think it's really about us sitting back too sometimes and embracing what we have and the community around us and trying to think more on that terms of what we can offer. What Cured already offers, but what more can we offer for the community we have here that is staring at us and is loving us and is supporting us, and as much as we want to go and create that somewhere else too, it's like we have our audience right here, that loves us and that is supporting us.
Support you,
Yeah.
Big time. Well, this episode really shows you that beauty isn't imperfection. It's really just the purpose and the drive behind the person that creates something beautiful. So that's you. Congratulations.
Thank you, ladies.
All right. So what are Cured's hours? Tell all of our listeners.
We are 7:30 till 4 during the week. Our kitchen does close an hour before we close, just for people having coffee or finishing up work. And then we're 7:30 to 5 on Fridays. We're 9 to 5 on Saturdays. And then we're 9 to 3 on Sundays. So we're 7 days a week.
Yes.
If there's any events downtown, we do try to open up for a lot of those evening events.
Yeah.
Or we rent out our space. So we kind of open that up for people to
have
our space or, be able to do some offsite things.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. All right. Well, everybody needs to go to Cured on Columbia. My favorite is the iced vanilla latte with almond milk. Oh, it's just...
Mine is the honey lavender.
It's so good. Support local. Stop in, see Anna and Amanda. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening.
And the tuna fish sandwich.
Oh. Thanks for joining us on the Lagniappe. We hope today gave you the little something extra that you needed. Be sure to subscribe, share this with a friend, and follow us on social at FGIALA for more tools to live well and make the right decisions for your health and future. Until next time, stay golden, stay the course, and never forget, we'll be there for you.